Hey there! A while ago I was contacted by Aachim, and Aachim said he's in Germany, and he said I went to a drugstore there and I found a very, very inexpensive fountain pen. I would like to send you one, so I said, send me one. Thank you. And he did. And this is the pen, and this is a pen you can buy for only a couple of euros. But it's interesting because it is so inexpensive, but I found it a surprisingly nice pen. So Aachim, first of all, thank you for thinking of me. I think this should be an interesting review. We're talking about the Schneider Easy. Now Schneider, well-known brand of German pens, writing equipment, not just fountain pens, ballpoints as well. I have reviewed other Schneider products in the past, and I don't think I've ever really been disappointed by a Schneider pen. They're fairly inexpensive, they write well, so I think they are a lot of fun. This is the Schneider Easy. Here we have the pen. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and I'll do a writing sample. Okay, here we have the pen. It's by no means a small pen. I found it quite long. Here at the top of the cap is, well, nothing really. It's just all plastic clip. I left the sticker on. Now you can see it's nice and shiny plastic. Then we have the barrel. The barrel has bats on it. I'm Batman. Sorry. So it has bats on it, and here it says Schneider and made in Germany, which is interesting. I would expect a very cheap pen to be made elsewhere, but it is an authentic German product apparently. Here we have the thing at the end of the barrel. I don't know if you can see, but the barrel is very slightly translucent. I think the camera kind of picks up on that because right there, that black thing is part of the converter, I think, or cartridge. I forgot what I have in here right now. So you get this, and you get a cartridge. So it's you can buy it, you can put in the cartridge, you can immediately start writing. The cap pops off. It does post. If you like such things, it becomes pretty big when you post it, but it's possible. And here you have the section, and the section is pre-shaped, pre-molded. It's a sort of rubbery material that I've seen on more Schneider pens. And I, to be honest, I found it quite comfortable. It's simple, but it works well. Here's the nib. You can see it's pretty small, and it is folded. You see that in very inexpensive pens sometimes. It's a little hard to show you here, but let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. The camera can still pick that up. Yes, it actually can. Wonderful. So you can see it's very flat from the top, and it's just folded. So what they do, zoom out a bit here, guys. Oh, that's zooming in. Sorry, I don't mean to make you nauseous. So what they do is they just don't really tip it. They don't put tipping material on it. They just make the nib, and then they kind of fold it over like this, and then it writes like that, which works. I mean, it's if you do that well, you polish it a little bit, and then you have a very cheap way to make a nib that works. You have the feed, nothing fancy there. You unscrew the barrel, and it was a cartridge. One of the nice things about this barrel being so long is that you can put in a secondary cartridge. So right now this is just a placeholder, but you can put in another cartridge so you won't run out of ink. Simple international cartridge. The nice thing, of course, about being international and having a barrel that's long enough is that you can put in pretty much any standard international converter. So, interesting pen. Simple. I think it was under €3, so it's really not that expensive. And what do I think about it? Well, I'm not really going to comment on the toxicity of the material. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. It feels like plastic, and that's all there's to it. It has a nice thing in it. It's almost like a night sky. I don't know if the camera really picked that up, but it's like there are speckles in it. It looks a bit like stars. And then you have the bats making for an interesting design and some fantasy twirls. To be honest, I was quite impressed. Here you have a pen, costs a few euros, that writes straight out of the box. No tweaking necessary. In fact, nothing was necessary because the pen wrote. Just like that. And it writes well. I haven't had it run dry. The nib offers a little bit of line variation. It's soft enough to do that. It's good. It's I would say a high quality pen. Now, of course, is this the same as a Pelikan M1000? No, it's not. But the price isn't the same either. You have a basic pen that writes, which is all you need really. I found the grip surprisingly comfortable. The rubberized material works, offers for a very sturdy grip. You have a little facet at the bottom of the section too. You can put your middle finger under that. And then you have a great grip. It's also long enough. It's not a very small pen. You can post it. It's all plastic, so it doesn't add a lot of weight. As I said, it becomes a little large. But hey, it works. Things I don't like about it so much. Well, one of the disadvantages of a folded nib is of course that it does not have that ultra hard tipping that tipped nibs have. So it can wear out a bit faster. But to be honest, unless you write on sandpaper all the time, I really don't think this nib will suddenly deteriorate in 3 weeks or something. It should take a good while before it really wears out. So in all, I have to say I'm really pretty impressed. Now, one thing that you guys want to know, I know you do because I always get that question, can you convert this to an eyedropper? Well, I haven't tried it. What I will say is that at the end here, you see there is a different bit of plastic, so I would expect that this can leak. I haven't tried it. If you can convert it to an eyedropper, that would be a pretty significant ink capacity because it's a long barrel. That's all. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and it writes. What more could you wish for? So look at this, the Schneider Easy. It's a fun pen. Check it out. If you want to see measurements, they're on the website, sbrebrown.com, as well as high-resolution pictures taken by gourmet pens. And I think the only thing we need to do now, just dropped it, is do a writing sample. That's what's coming up next. Hope this was useful so far. Aachim, thanks a lot for sending me one. I really appreciate it. And that's all there's to it. I'm glad to see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Schneider Easy. The nib is, well, something in the fine medium range. It's not marked and it's a little hard to tell. The ink, yeah, that's just a cartridge. So something that came with it. Do a bit of writing. It's a folded nib. I'm not going to say it's an inexpensive pen because it's just a cheap pen. But it writes. And you get some feedback. I would definitely not call this scratchy, it's just a bit of feedback. That's actually a pretty pleasant writer, especially with that grip that's quite comfortable. The quick brown jumps over Fox Dog. No skipping, good ink flow. It's great. Wetness. Not super wet. Line variation, well, you can see you can definitely squeeze some out. And of course, with so cheap a nib, there's no real issue in completely wrecking it, I guess. So works well. How about reverse writing? Definitely a finer line. This is getting very scratchy though, but as you can see, it keeps up pretty well while some pens run dry. So it's a cheapie, but it writes better than some expensive pens I've recently seen. So you could do worse than pick something like this up, I think. And there you have it. Aachim, thanks for sending me the pen. I really appreciate it. And that's all there's to it. I'm glad to see you later, guys. Bye.